What's going on, everyone? Akbach here. Now today we have another Madden 19 rebuild. Last time we did the New York Jets, and we will stick in, I guess, to East Rutherford, New Jersey. And we will be rebuilding the New York Football Giants. They did not have a great year last year. Second worst team in the NFL. But let's see if we can rebuild this team. They certainly do have a lot of talent. Start with the quarterback position, Eli Manning. This is an unrealistic rebuild. So I'm going to see what I can get for him. I don't think I'm going to be able to get much. But maybe there's a team like the Bills or something who wants him. We're going to start Kyle Lauletta for this season. And we're probably going to get a new quarterback next year. Running back, Jonathan Stewart. He's cool, but this guy right here is cooler. The number 2 overall pick, Saquon Barkley out of Penn State. This dude is an absolute monster. Hopefully he can develop into like a 95 overall for us. Let's look at his ratings real quick. 92 speed, 93 acceleration. He's a freaking beast. Wide receiver, Odell Beckham stayed for the rest of a rebuild. Sterling Shepard, I'm probably going to keep. Evan Ingram, I'm probably going to keep. The offensive line, Nate Solder, is on such a big contract, I will trade him. Will Hernandez, the second round pick from UTEP, he has star development, so I'm most certainly going to keep him. And then the right tackle position, Eric Flowers. We're not trading the GOAT, Eric Flowers. He's not going to start, but we're going to keep him. On the defensive side of the football, Dalvin Tomlinson, I would like to hold on to. He had a really solid rookie year. Snacks Harrison, he doesn't have that much value, and he's really good, so I'm probably just going to keep him. I wouldn't mind starting one of the rookies like B.J. Hill or R.J. McIntosh. Linebackers, it's not pretty. Olivier Vernon is on such a huge contract. He's a very good player, but he's so expensive. I think I'm probably going to trade him. And then all the other linebackers are C's or C pluses. Secondary is solid, but not great. 3 safety definitely needs to be upgraded. Strong safety, however, does not need to be upgraded, as Landon Collins is a really good player. I believe this is his last year of his contract, so you do need to re-sign him. Cornerbacks, Eli Apple. I don't know if anyone wants him, so we're going to do what we're doing with Eric Flowers and just keep him just for the memes, because why not? And then Janoris Jenkins, if you have a cornerback spot. He's not great, and he is on a pretty big contract, but it is so hard to get really good cornerbacks in this game, but I think it makes sense for us to hold on to the Jackrabbit. We're going to be trading Patrick Omahe and Jonathan Stewart to the Buffalo Bills for Micah Hyde, 2 players that wouldn't get any playing time for us, for a 90-plus safety, so I'm probably going to move him to 3 safety, since I know he can play 3 safety. And when Landon Collins played 3 safety as a rookie, he was absolutely terrible. We're going to be trading Alec Ogletree and B.J. Goodson, our 2 starting middle linebackers, but I don't really need them because they're not all that good, to the Miami Dolphins for their first round pick. We're going to be sending Olivier Vernon, Wayne Gallman, and Jonathan Hankins. I just signed Hankins out of free agency. To the Atlanta Falcons for Deion Jones, 91 overall middle linebacker. He's going to be a beast for us. I'm going to be trading Nate Solder, who's expensive. Des Bryant, who I just signed in free agency, as well as Davis Webb, to the Bucks for Levante David, 95 overall, one of the best outside linebackers in the NFL. We're going to be trading Kayvon Webster, who I signed in free agency. I also signed Jeremy Maclin, and he's going to be thrown in the deal, as well as a first-round pick to the Raiders for a future 4th, and Khalil Mack, the sack attack from the Silver and Black. I'm going to try to get that pick back, because I know the Dolphins are going to be terrible. So hopefully I do. Eli Manning is no longer a New York Giant. We're trading him and Webb, as well as Robert Ayers, who I signed in free agency. And in real life, the Lions just signed him. I think that's a pretty good move for us. And we're getting that Dolphins pick back, so hopefully they suck. Speaking of the Lions, we're going to be getting Golden Tate, 89 overall wide receiver, for Eric Reed, Delvin Breaux, and Jack Mewhort. All 3 of them I just signed in free agency, so we basically got Golden Tate for 3. We're going to be trading Red Ellison and Caliph Raymond to the Cleveland Browns for Kevin Zeitler, 89 overall right guard. For whatever reason, the Browns always want tight ends, which makes no sense. Since they have David Njoku and Sif DeValve. That's how I was able to get Jabril Peppers in the Dolphins series, because they wanted A.J. Derby. But Kevin Zeitler, he's very expensive, but he's also very good, and we do need some good offensive linemen for Mr. Saquon Barkley. I'm going to be sending Bashaud Breeland, who I signed in free agency. Charkandrick West, who I also signed, as well as a second-round pick, to the Colts for Quentin Nelson and a 7th-rounder. Almost every rebuild I've traded for Quentin Nelson just because he's so ridiculously easy to get, and he's so good, and he's so young. We're going to be sending Jordan Matthews, who I signed in free agency, to the Baltimore Ravens for a 6th round pick and 92 overall Marshall Yanda. Very good offensive line. We're going to be sending Kareem Martin a 4 and carry win to the Cincinnati Bungles, or I guess the Cincinnati Bengals, for their 1st round pick. They should be pretty bad this year, so good trade. We're going to be trading 2 scrub middle linebackers, Mark Herzlich and Ray Armstrong, to the Indianapolis Colts for their 1st round pick. Connor Barwin and Darian Thompson are headed to San Francisco for a 3rd round draft pick. Here's a look of a team headed into the season. Kyle Laletta will be the starting quarterback. Of course, we got Saquon and running back. The offensive line looks very solid. The offense is an 85. Defense is an 89. Very solid unit. We do need to work on probably the cornerbacks and probably a few more linebackers. But other than that, we're a pretty good team. I'm going to say we probably are going to go like 6 and 10. We end up going 12 and 4. That doesn't get us a 1st round bye. Now, I accidentally turned Phil Roster on, so the game signed Matt Moore, but Matt Moore absolutely dominated. He was a beast for us. He now has quick development. We got to look at this man's stats. At the midseason mark, he was 4th in MVP voting, which is absolutely nuts. So let's see how he did. 3,843 yards, 27 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Saquon Barkley, that's solid. Over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Was Matt Moore in the MVP race? He probably was. And nope, he completely fell out of the MVP race, but hey, 12 and 4 is not too shabby. Here's a look at the team headed into the playoffs. Saquon is an 86. Nelson is an 87. Not too much went on in the offensive side of the ball. Looking at the defense, Lorenzo Carter, he actually made the Pro Bowl. He racked up 11.5 sacks, which is pretty incredible. So let's send past all of these playoff games, and just maybe we'll make the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, we didn't make the Super Bowl. I didn't think we'd make it, so it's not too big of a deal. It looks like the Titans made the Super Bowl. I don't know how that happened, but whatever. So let's look at who made the Super Bowl and where we were eliminated. The Titans and the Cowboys. We were eliminated in the 2nd round of the playoffs by the Rams, only by 3 points. So we did win a playoff game against the defending champs. That's pretty good. I re-signed everyone I needed to sign. I also signed Trevor Williams in free agency to play corner. So let's look at all of our draft picks. We have pick 4, 10, 11, and 27 in the 1st round. So hopefully we can get some good players. I considered trading up 1 pick to get pick 3 from the Bills, just in hope that they wouldn't take the player I wanted. Of course they took the guy I wanted, so we have to pick Spencer Gentry here for 4th pick. He looks like a pretty good offensive tackle, and he is 80 overall, quick development. He's going to replace Marshall Yanda at left tackle since Yanda did end up retiring. With the 10th overall pick, we're going to pick another offensive lineman, and that is Tyrell Cook, 22 years old from Florida State. 80 overall with star development. Very nice selection. This draft class is stacked on offensive linemen. I'm very tempted to pick another one, but we don't need another one. So with the 11th pick, we're going to take Tyson Garrett. The player I did want with that first pick I took was an outside linebacker who went number 3. So we're going to have to settle with Garrett instead. He still looks very good. And he has 80 overall quick development. So 3 80 overalls. Not too shabby. I had to pull some strings to get this deal to go, but we're trading a 1st round pick 27, as well as pick 42 and 55 to the Seattle Seahawks for Bobby Wagner. We are giving up a lot, but I think it's worth it. We're trading a 1st, a 2nd, and a 3rd round pick this year to the New Orleans Saints for Drew Brees. I know he's old, but we're going for the Super Bowl this year. I think we have the team that can do it, and I'm willing to give up my top 3 draft picks for Mr. Brees. Here's a look of a team. Drew Brees now at quarterback. Outside of a few minor changes on the offensive line, the team is or at least the offensive side of the ball is very similar. The offense is a 93 and the defense is a 99. We added Tyson Garrett, Bobby Wagner, and Trevor Williams. That's actually the only defensive moves we made, so we only changed like probably 6 starters. So we have a similar roster than we do last year, so hopefully we can go a little further. Maybe win the Super Bowl. The regular season is in the books, and we did worse than we did last year. We went 11 and 5. We didn't even win our division as the Eagles went 12 and 4. So I'm going to give everyone their skill points, and hopefully we can make it to the Super Bowl. I don't really know how the Saints made the playoffs. That doesn't really make sense, as we don't make the Super Bowl. Hopefully Drew Brees doesn't retire because we gave them a lot. So let's see where we lost. Hopefully it wasn't to the Saints. That would just be pretty cruel. I guarantee it was to the Saints. Wasn't in that round. Okay, so we did beat the Saints, but we lost to the Eagles in the second round of the playoffs, only by 3 points. So hopefully Drew Brees doesn't retire, but I think he will. So it looks like that trade didn't really work out. Luckily, Drew Brees decided to stick it out another year, so he's still on the team. The roster is exactly the same, the offense as well as the defense. So hopefully this is our year to potentially win the Super Bowl. The regular season is in the books, and we end up getting a first-round bye with a record of 14-2 as Jacoby Brissett wins the MVP. Huh. Drew Brees had a good year. He probably deserved it. 12 picks, I guess that's a little bit, but he probably deserved it. Barkley did good. I don't know why I'm going through the stats now, but I never did earlier. Odell played well. Shepard solid. Ingram solid. Golden Tate pretty good. Bobby Wagner, a lot of tackles. I see a lot of sacks. 16 from Khalil Mack. 15.5 from Levante David. 5 picks from Trevor Williams. 3 for Wagner. 2 for Mr. Eli Apple. And 1 from some other players. I'm simming to the Super Bowl. If we don't make it, I'm going to be a sad man. We missed the Super Bowl again. Drew Brees is going to retire. We need to get ourselves a new quarterback. Drew Brees did retire, so we need a new quarterback. And that's going to be Derek Carr. We're trading a 1 and a 2 to get him. Deshaun Watson was in free agency, but we didn't have enough money for him. But we were able to sign Tre'Davious White, 97 overall cornerback. So I guess that's something. Here's a look at the team headed into season number 4. It is very similar, except for the quarterback position, which now is Mr. Derek Carr. Here's the defense, still at 99 overall. Still looking really good, so hopefully this is our year we can win the Super Bowl. We end up going 12-3-1. We don't get a first-round bye, but we obviously still make the playoffs and we win our division. So hopefully this is the year we finally make the Super Bowl. Hopefully the 4th time ends up being the chart. We miss it again. Now we gotta go to a season number 5. If we don't win the Super Bowl this year, then I'm gonna call it quits. So let's take a look at the new team. We made a couple of moves. The first one is we added Lane Johnson to the offensive line as Kevin Zeitler was like a 75. He was way too bad. And Golden Tate ended up retiring. So we just drafted a bunch of rookies. None of them were really good. The best one was like a 75. The defense did not change at all, so that's good. Let's sim to the end of the year. Hopefully we can win the shit. And we end up making the Super Bowl. We're going to play the 12-4 Kansas City Chiefs. I didn't give anyone their skill points. I just simmed right to the Super Bowl. Don't fix anything that ain't broke. I'm just going to simulate and hope that we do the dang thing. We've won a Super Bowl in every rebuild so far. And we end up winning, as you can see in the top left-hand corner. 31-17. So that's the end of the rebuild. It took 5 seasons, but we did it. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.
Hey, man!